Welcome to the Real Estate Espresso Podcast, your morning shot of what's new in the world of real estate investing. I'm your host, Victor Menashe. Happy 1st of June. This is the first of the month, and on the first day of each month, we review the book of the month. In order to be considered for book of the month, the book has to meet a very simple criteria. It has to be impactful enough to change your life or your perspective on the world. Whether it does or not, of course, is entirely up to you. If you consume the content passively, you're just entertaining yourself, but if you make the book part of you and you internalize it, that's the pathway to transformation. The book this month is absolutely deserving of the title Book of the Month. Our book this month comes from one of the master storytellers of our time. The book is called Ask, The Bridge from Your Dreams to Your Destiny by Mark Victor Hansen and his wife, Crystal Dwyer Hansen. Mark was the guest on my show 2 weeks ago, and he's known for being the best-selling author of all time with over 500 million books sold, many of them part of the Chicken Soup series. Mark and Crystal believe that asking is the key to getting anything you want in life. But you need to know how to ask, and you also need to know who to ask. There are 3 people you can ask. You can, number 1, ask yourself. Number 2, you can ask others. Or number 3, you can ask God. And when children are young, they ask all kinds of questions. There's no filter. The questions just flow one after another. But somehow, as we age, asking questions doesn't seem to be socially acceptable anymore. How many people die inside at age 25 and then spend the rest of their lives walking around like zombies in the prison of their own making? Mark and Crystal have discovered the beauty of reigniting that childlike questioning, that childlike curiosity. And they've discovered that there are 7 principal roadblocks to asking. Number 1, unworthiness or insecurity. Number 2, naivety. Number 3, doubt. Number 4, excuses. Number 5, fear. Number 6, pattern paralysis. Or number 7, disconnection. And the power to unlocking the path to your destiny is found by asking. It starts by asking better questions. If you're failing to ask questions, it's because there's most likely one of these 7 obstacles that's getting in the way. The power to unlocking the path to your destiny is found by asking, and it starts by asking better questions. Whatever you focus on becomes amplified. It becomes your target. If you're focused, for example, on the negatives will be emphasized in your life. For example, if you're asking questions like, will I go bankrupt? Those questions will take you on a different trajectory than asking, how much wealth will you accumulate? In the book, they tell the story of Mitzi Perdue. Mitzi was the daughter of the founder of Sheraton Hotels, and she'd been struggling with failure for much of her life. The fear of failure was preventing her from moving forward, from achieving her goals, and then one day she reframed what it meant to fail. At first, failure was defined as having been denied a request, or being turned down. But then she realized when she got turned down, she wasn't failing, she was simply paying her dues. The only failure was in not trying. Failure was in giving up. And that simple reframe of failure changed the trajectory of her life. She tells the story of how she met her second husband, Frank Perdue. She was cultivating rice in California and hosting radio and TV shows. Frank was at the other end of the country raising chickens. But the speed and certainty of their union was the result of asking clear questions. It's funny, in my interview with the author of the book, Mark Victor Hansen, we both discovered that we love sailing. In the interview, he actually asked to go sailing with me, and I agreed. And in the week that followed the interview, I sent him some photographs of cruising the canals in France, and we've agreed to take a trip together where I would be his skipper and his guide. It turns out that asking something of others creates connection. It requires them to engage. It invites them to share your curiosity. The very process of asking creates a bond between 2 people. Getting the life you want starts with asking the right questions of yourself. How can you lose weight if you believe that losing weight, you won't keep it off? You might lose weight for a while, but if you feel like an imposter in your own skin, you won't keep it off. How can you be successful at something in which, deep in your heart, you have no confidence? At first, I was thinking this book was just another glorified self-help book. But then I had a powerful epiphany. I had the realization that every major step in my life had a powerful ask associated with it. Not just some of the time, but all of the time. In fact, the projects where I've been the most successful have also involved the most powerful asks. And if I think about the woman I married, there was an ask involved. My first job coming out of university had a powerful ask. The decision to create a startup company to acquire a division of IBM back in 2004 was the result of asking. My current ventures all have a powerful ask at the very core. As you think about that, you definitely want to go get a copy of Ask by Mark Victor Hansen and Crystal Dwyer Hansen. Have an awesome rest of your day. Go make some great things happen. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.